What's up, guys? We are closing out the night. Today was a great day. We're able to recoup and recover despite yesterday's setback. So I'm pretty much working on three things right now. I'm putting together either on Figma or Miro board. I'm not sure which one that I'm ultimately going to go with because I'm trying to have different sales scripts link to kind of a master routing hub for all of the sales calls that are happening. So I'm working through that, and it was nice to kind of force myself to get organized in a short amount of time. And that's kind of the thing, right? It's like you have a lot of, back-end systems that need to get built when you're starting off a business, and like you need to not have any complexity, you need to not have much confusion. And it was getting to that point where I'm like, man, these scripts are hovering in my head, and the follow-ups and everything is just like so many things. If you're like me, like I'm a visual learner or just like kind of a visual type of guy, so having them all in front of me made it a lot easier just to think creatively on how the words and the sequences and like how everything connects together, just to make sure Sam is prepared as possible on the calls. And then second to that too, we were trying to basically figure out how we're going to create a new lead sourcer. I'm not going to overshare too much about this, but I'm building a new project right now that's going to basically be an all-in-one sales portal for us in our business, and it's going to do things such as getting the leads, sourcing the leads, enriching the leads, managing the leads, promoting the leads, storing the leads, CRM, just kind of all that stuff all in one place, right? So that's kind of the second thing without going in too deep. Just for a little, spoiler, I put a prompt in a ChatGPT sites, and it has kind of been going for 2.5 hours. It killed my Mac battery, so I gotta go inside right now and kind of just see how that's gonna run and what that's gonna turn into. But it's a massive project that I'm building right now. So that, coupled with the scripts and coupled with the new lead sourcing, because right now we need to get some leads in consistently. So that's kind of where we're at. I wanted to, obviously have more of this done, but I'm at least glad that I was able to get around to it and have a little bit of momentum now going into the week. So this week ahead, I'm going to be completing the scripts on one centralized, whether it's, Miro, whether it's Figma, or whatever the tool that we end up using. Like I want to have everything on there for Sam, so whether she's at the gatekeeper or voicemail, like she'll click the button and it'll direct to the specific script. And it's really just like, we talked about, it's really just there to help her learn sales from somebody who hasn't done sales. And then, it just gets her to the point where she doesn't feel like she doesn't know what to say, because obviously we're starting to become more sophisticated because we're trying to solve a more sophisticated problem. So we need to put a little bit more sophistication into the sales scripts and be a little bit more prepared. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're doing all of the work up front, and then, obviously it opens doors in the future for hires and people that are going to be joining on the journey with us. All this infrastructure is super important. So that's kind of what's going on there. That'll probably be main priority for the week, in addition to the lead sourcing, in addition to the super software that I'm building. But yeah, that's, I think, really the name of the game, is trying to free up as much time and leverage as possible and reducing and removing the friction, because before long, Sam's going to be going back to work in the school setting as an SLP, and she's going to have very limited downtime in order to make phone calls, do outreach, and actually get people on the call to have a meaningful conversation. So it is looking very, I wouldn't say brim, but we're running down to the wire here because we have less than a month now. It's now August. And yeah, we got to pretty much get everything. It would be great to have, some pilot clients and just have more of the service delivery filled out. That's kind of what's coming next. You guys saw the list, the thing on Notion, the list, like the to-do list, the outcomes and all that stuff. So that's kind of what's teed up on deck next. But we're just kind of working through these foundational pieces. Still trying to get people on the call, still trying to validate the problem, still trying to see if, people are even receptive and open to us coming in and solving it. Ideally, the first person would really be, for a case study or a testimonial, just to help us build out the delivery. And then from there, the sky's the limit, guys. So that's kind of where we're at with everything. That's kind of a very thorough recap, a thorough breakdown on what we got done this weekend. I mean, I'm celebrating the wins, even, it's not as big as I wanted it to be, despite, some health setbacks, but we're set up for the week. We know where we're going. We know what we're doing. Traction is inevitable. See you guys tomorrow.